not prepared
No,
again?
we're recording.
Oh, Jesus, man.
So after months, it seems like actually years, and I have to get used to like turning this way now again too.
Right?
Like I'm not used to it. Ever since Rachel was gone, it's only been looking this way. Now I've got to. Man.
On the swivel, head on the swivel.
So after months and what seems like years of waiting for This Is Us to return, finally back last night. I know you don't watch.
Oh,
I don't.
Yeah. You don't watch. And it split the nation. It completely split the nation. We'll talk about that coming up.
Oh, yeah.
And so much forgotten from the episodes. I had totally forgotten.
Constant flashbacks of, oh, yeah, that's why that happened. Yo, no, I get it.
Can I ask a question? Because I
sure.
saw Mandy Moore on the Today Show.
Okay.
And they were saying, Carson Daly asked on a rating of would you need a box of Kleenex for the season premiere, a handful of Kleenex, or just one tissue?
Right.
Where is it on the spectrum?
I would almost say none. For me.
Really?
Yeah. No, really?
Crier.
Okay, we'll talk about This Is Us coming up.
Okay.
We'll talk about This Is Us coming up. But first of all, we got a very special guest with us on the Totally Spoiled podcast.
Hi.
From Puppies, Wine, and Snacks on iHeartRadio. Katie, welcome to the Totally Spoiled podcast. So we're going to chop it up about season 2 of Ozark, which did you finally finish it?
Yeah, I did at
Okay.
6:30.
Yo, you guys, we're talking about the whole season?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
My God.
This is going to be like a 2 hour.
Sure can.
This is going to be like a 2 hour podcast.
Here's my schedule.
Yeah, completely cancel
Let's prepare ourselves.
everything. No, we've only got 15 minutes because Katie's got a hard time that she's got to be out. Busch Gardens is here with their zombies. Which, by the way, I hate.
Really?
I love Busch Gardens. Love Busch Gardens. I'm an ambassador. I love going there. I love how those scream. I hate when the zombies come by.
They are very in your bubble.
Yeah.
And they come right in your ear. And I don't like something's in my, right on the corner of your eye.
And they literally just
freaks me out.
right in your face.
Perfect. Well,
yeah.
I'm pumped now.
Did I miss the zombies then? Did we see? Because Katie and I were there together for half of the time. I saw the calaveras. I saw
the what?
The calaveras.
Oh, yeah, the calaveras.
Yeah,
Did you see the
that one.
calaveras?
Yes.
Yes.
Don't ask me to say it, though.
Yes.
You know what you're talking about.
The calaveras.
I saw the Purge crew. I'm calling them Purge crew.
I didn't see any zombies, though.
I was going to say, are you
Are there
are zombies that are coming. There are zombies.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a scare zone or something that we missed.
Maybe
Yeah.
avoiding them.
Okay, anyways, we're wasting time on that. Let's do some spoiling.
Yes.
At Brian Fink, at April on air, at
Katie Radio 1.
Katie Radio 1. Thank you so much for following and subscribing to the Totally Spoiled podcast and to Puppies, Wine, and Snacks on iHeartRadio.
Where we talk about all things Bravo.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, so if Bravo is your bag, get into it. It has nothing to do with puppies, wine, nor snacks. I think I was hungover when I came up with the title. It's fine.
It's fine. So
It's
was I with
about
Totally
Bravo.
Spoiled.
Yeah.
Although we do totally spoil everything here.
We do. And I'd like to give a suggestion just because all of those are top three things in this life. You should go video, girl, and include your puppies, wine, and
I know.
Oh my
Well,
snacks.
usually we are
Just
drinking wine,
saying.
eating snacks. I'm going to get there.
Just okay.
Oh my God, if Napoleon was on camera.
Could you
He's so
imagine?
handsome.
Just saying, I think that'd be a great idea.
So we're going to talk about This Is Us because last night finally returned, but Ozark first. And let me just ask you guys, is there anything worse than the 3 dots on iMessage and then somebody not following through the text message?
Infuriating.
Disappearing?
was it not good enough to say to me or something like
right?
that? That's what I think.
Well,
yeah.
this was one of the things in, I don't even remember what episode, is towards the end of Ozark when he texts the daughter. And she starts texting and then
nothing.
And it disappears.
Yeah, it was like a heartfelt,
I
love you, come home.
Right.
And then nothing.
Nah.
Right?
I'm good.
Katie was like, text me the second you finish.
Yeah.
I gotta, and literally all I texted her was, wow.
Oh my gosh. What was that? Do it
He
again?
is not exaggerating either. I'm not even kidding.
And there was no 3 dots.
believe this.
It was literally, So what were some of your favorite moments? And this is your first time on the Totally Spoiled podcast. So just looking back at season 2 of Ozark, what were some of the moments that stuck out to you?
Let's see. Oh my God. I definitely, any scene with Darlene, she is so creepy. She is so twisted. I'm always wondering what's going on in her mind.
She's psycho.
She's such a psycho.
And what's crazy is, and I don't mean to jump ahead, but isn't it crazy how they kind of built Wendy turning into Darlene. I kind of felt like the families.
I didn't even think of
Oh,
that.
you didn't see that?
I was like, dude, she's boss.
Yeah.
I totally. I felt like there was like this. They were building both families to be like each other because towards the end, Jacob was scared of Darlene. And
which I was not expecting. I was not expecting that. I wasn't.
When she kills him, oh my God, I was almost in tears. Like literally almost in tears when she poisoned him. Because I knew that something was going to happen.
Yeah.
So they start walking into the forest, and he grabs the paring knife and hides it. So you kind of get under the impression that he's going to kill her.
Right.
Well, and in the beginning, that was on the shield.
Right.
It was the apple and the little paring knife, so you think. But it's like, no. It's never that simple.
And it's not going to be. With Darlene, I knew that she was going to somehow jump it. And she was going to get it first. But the poisoning.
Freak out when like one would be behind the other. They wouldn't be walking side by side.
Right.
It was almost like a power struggle of like who's in
because
front,
she knew.
back.
She knew.
Oh my God, you just knew.
It's crazy though because he was the one with the idea to take the long walk. It wasn't her, and she's the one that ended up.
But she knew. She knew it was coming.
Yeah,
She
still
went on the walk with the intention to kill him.
Well, it had to because she poisoned him with the tea. Well, maybe not. Maybe she just poisoned him and thinking that he was going to like keel over in the house or something.
Yeah.
I don't know, but that was diabolical.
Just tying that all in, I don't know if this kind of struck to you guys too. Remember when the scene where he's in the diner?
In the flashback when they first meet, or
no,
okay,
when Marty's in the diner.
Also a great scene.
Yeah.
When Marty's in the diner with, I still call him Mr. Snell. And
that's very respectful of you.
Mr. Snell. And that line where he says, and I'm going to butcher it, help me if I'm wrong, where he says he was crazy about her, and now something along the lines of being so madly in love with her, and now
right. I remember what you were talking about.
Crapless.
Yeah, I remember talking about it.
So that is just such a comparison, and just to look at it in that way, you being so crazy in love with someone, and then literally fearing your entire life.
And that's kind of what I'm talking about with the comparison of the families, because towards the end, you start seeing Jason Bateman's character being afraid of Wendy, because Wendy has completely lost it. I mean,
well, Marty lost it after killing Mason. I think he still had it together, and then that was just like he.
Did I not tell you?
Yeah, I definitely see what the both of you are talking about.
The panic attack that Jason Bateman's character. And I was telling her last week that I thought Jason Bateman was an incredible actor before this, but his panic attack was amazing. Amazing. And Ruth's panic attack, when she's with the dad and she starts flipping out in the truck.
Yeah.
And she starts crying.
It's like so heartbreaking because all she wanted to do was just to please him. But you knew he never had her best interest in mind.
No.
As much as he would say, like, you know, it's all good, but he just wanted that money.
Right.
Yeah, and so I think one of the best scenes in almost the entire season was, and I was telling you this, when the Snells left church and the camera just kind of watches the car leaving.
Yes.
The entire time I'm thinking, this is what I was thinking. I was thinking there was going to be gunshots in the car. I thought this was when Jacob killed Darlene. That's what I thought this was going to happen. Because you literally just see the car driving off. You have no idea that they're going to be jumped and they're going to shoot them in the car.
And they're just like holding the shot. And it's like, what's going to happen?
My God. And it kind of...
It took me a second to not to fully realize what was going on, but it pans into that scene, leaves, then it comes back when you find out that Mr. Snell's shot and bleeding out. Which then again ties into what we were just talking about. So she was literally going ballistic because she thought she was going to lose him, and then she turns around and then kills him herself.
Yeah, but I think that was a case of her realizing that he was kind of done with her.
Yeah.
I mean, the more he talked about it, he was telling her not to go above him, and she kept doing it. She kept undermining him.
She was even like, "Or what?" When he was like, "Don't even think about it. Don't even think about it." And
so I think at some point it just kicks in where she was like, okay, I've got to do this before she was madly in love with him. I don't think we're questioning that, but I really
Badly
think that it was
crazy.
no. You don't think?
I think she was still pissed at him for killing Ash.
Well, of course she
But
was.
I feel like that, and
Hands
that's where
down.
she gets on. Like, I want the baby, and I'm like, well, no,
right.
because you're insane,
Right.
and,
Right.
which I still can't believe that Wendy gave him the baby.
Well, Wendy didn't.
Or
Marty
no,
did.
Marty did.
Yeah, Wendy was like, "What did you do?"
That Marty gave the baby.
But
to her.
I kind of agree with Marty. I mean, it was kind of one of those things where you had to. I mean, they're going after the family. They went after the son and shaved. I thought they were gonna like kidnap the son or
did I.
kill.
Yeah,
Oh my
I
god!
thought it was going to be worse than what it was, and I was like, "Oh God, he's in the house. He's okay."
And that hair.
He handled it a lot better than I would
Talking
have.
about the hair.
Very gangster about it. He was like, look what happened.
Well, I think the son is almost being built to like take over the entire
Yes.
thing
He's a little genius.
Because he seems very unaffected.
by everything.
Yeah. I mean, he killed a guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that leads to where like Buddy used to take him out to shoot, and then when he had his
Yeah.
first kill of the deer.
Yeah.
And when he was killing, what was he killing on that? Was it birds originally?
I think
No,
it,
remember he was finding the carcasses.
The
and he was like
carcasses,
yes.
digging through it. He's
And he was-
very smart. So, you
very
know.
insane.
Yeah.
I mean, that son was
All right, got
insane.
it, got
smart, insane.
Yeah.
What did I tell you about when Ruth's dynamic with her dad starts changing, and like with her pulling the gun on him?
Yes.
I literally, if you could hear the voices in my head when that was going on, I was literally going, pull the trigger, pull the trigger, pull the trigger, pull the trigger, pull the trigger. And she couldn't pull the trigger.
I gotta tell you, I thought in the episode 10, the last episode, I literally thought when she's telling Marty's daughter Charlotte to get in the car and she fires like right to the side of him, I literally thought that scene she was going to kill. I was like, this is it.
Right.
This is the moment. She's gonna get rid of him.
And then it ends up not even being her that kills him.
He still does. It just wasn't her.
Yeah, that
Can
was
we talk about
Well,
that?
yeah.
That was a crazy scene.
Yeah. Can we talk about that?
Wendy?
Yeah. That planned.
Wendy?
Yeah.
Put a hit out on
Bad.
him.
Yeah.
Bad.
I mean,
Bad. And I knew it. That scene in the diner when she's like, "Here's a $500,000." I was like, "No, he's not getting out."
I didn't
easy.
see that coming.
Are you serious? Come on. Horrible person. Bad guy. He's not going to be let off the loose, leaving and fleeing with $500,000.
He's going to come back for more.
Yeah, but that's what I thought. I thought he was
You
gonna.
thought he was going to come back for more?
I thought he was gonna leave and have some kind of part in it, in like
Yeah.
season 3, if there is a season
Really?
3.
Like, I felt that, like,
better be
let's say
season
Wendy gave him the money and he took it and left.
Yeah.
I just feel like she knew that he was never gone for good.
Right.
Like, he was one of those people that would come back. So she was like, I got to get rid of you and I want that money back. Thank you.
And how bad did
Yeah.
you feel for the FBI agent?
Oh.
I mean, he's such an ass.
Not at all.
Really? I didn't like him at all either. I will say this much. I didn't. But that, he went out so brutally.
And his
I think
mom.
that's-
I felt
the
bad for his mom. That was the only thing.
I mean-
he was such a dirtbag.
Oh,
about
absolutely.
How he went about it. so.
Absolutely, but still, I think that's what it was. I think it was the fact that you're thinking about how he's getting out. He's not going to deal with it anymore. He's going home to
Yeah.
take care of his mom, and then he gets, I mean, killed by.
He's talking to an insane man, though, and he's talking about locking that insane man's daughter up for life. Dude, and you're in the middle of, like, the freaking forest.
Right.
Water. Think about what you're saying,
Right.
man. Come on.
Yeah, I knew that
Come
Cade was going to
on.
do something. I didn't think that it was going to go that far as it did.
Yeah, that was pretty rough. And I would not have been alone with him out there like that. I would at least have
Thank
like,
you.
my gun out or something.
Something.
But was that set up, or did Cade just find him and kind of surprise him? Oh, I guess it was. I guess he did reach out to him somehow.
I think he found him and then he just sort of like followed him to his fishing spot.
Yeah, that was.
I was like, man, you are
a mess.
Oh, yeah.
So there has to be a season 3, right?
So when I saw Wendy or Laura Linney on Watch What Happens Live, she said that it hadn't been confirmed yet, but I mean, I think everyone knows it's going to happen.
There has to be.
Such a great show.
Plus, there were so many loose ends that still have to be tied up. I mean, Wendy's different. The Chicago Mafia blew up his offices.
Yeah, I was going to say, what was that about?
They blew up his office. I mean, they finally came through and said they blew up his office.
So, yeah, we need further more information on that end.
Well, didn't they blow it up because Marty broke the deal with that they were going to hire the Teamsters to do it all, and they were like, "Burp, nope, that's not going to happen anymore."
Yeah, and he was kind of trying to pacify them by saying, "No, it's going to happen. It's going to." I think they're smarter than that.
Yeah.
That was a great scene. Incredible scene. All right, Katie's got to go.
Okay, bye.
She's got Busch Gardens. Make sure to check her out on the
All the
Puppies,
things.
wine, and snacks.
where we
podcast.
talk about none of those things, but we drink them and we pet them respectively, and we talk about Bravo. Thanks, guys.
Thank you,
love
Katie.
it. Thank you, Katie.
So try to get out here without making too much noise.
Okay, hold on.
No!
Click, clack, click, clack.
So This Is Us is finally back. Season 3.
Can I just tell you that I don't know what it was in me, but as soon as I think it was the music, you know, when certain memories or songs trigger moment,
Right.
literally the ding 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 ding. Okay, singing.
What are you even talking about?
Singing is not my forte. Look, I know exactly what I'm talking about when it's This Is Us. So don't even try me for these shows.
All I'm going to
Don't
say...
even try me or try to even put me on the spot or make me feel like I don't know what I'm
No,
talking
you know
about.
everything about This Is Us.
Yes, I do.
But
yes,
here's
I do.
what we don't know.
Okay.
We don't know how to age people. Last week we were talking about how the actor who plays William, we're like, yeah, he's probably like 40, 50, late 50s.
I think we said like mid 50s and he's
in
what,
his 60s.
60s?
Yeah, he's in his 60s.
Homeboy, you looking good.
You Googleized him. I'm like, what the hell? Dude is like, I think he's like 61, so he's barely into his 60s, but he's still nowhere where what we thought he was.
Yeah. So he's ahead of the game. Good for him.
So the nation
ages nicely.
The nation was torn with last night's episode. I saw a friend of mine, Nicole, was tweeting that she was bawling her eyes out at one of the scenes, and then I saw one of my other friends,
wonder what
Jordan,
scene.
who wasn't crying at all during the entire episode.
Yeah, because I didn't either. Here, let me take that back. What made me cry, like I was starting to say, is just the dee 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 dee. Like the music.
You started crying when you're like, oh my God, This Is Us is back.
Yeah, I think it was out of excitement
so
and then just everything flooding back. And I'm like, oh my God, I need to prepare myself.
And
for
this was, so there wasn't much that really got to me, but I thought it was an amazing episode.
I think it was very well written.
Absolutely.
Very well written.
And they addressed a lot in an hour. A lot. Can I just tell you how bad I feel for Randall?
Because of
Deja. So he's just trying to connect with her, kind of like we were. When we were talking about This Is Us months ago, we were like, we're not really connecting with Deja. It's kind of the same thing.
Right.
He's trying to connect with her on the basis that they're both adopted. And she's like, dude, we are nothing alike. Which
isn't even true. I think she's just out of anger and remorse, not even towards him. They obviously have similarities, but like she outlined too, yeah, I mean, okay, they were both adopted.
I think that's it. What other similarities do they have? He was raised not rich, but he was raised by a loving family.
Right. I mean,
she didn't have anybody.
He struggled with just not being accepted.
Right.
You know, not in the same way as Deja, like not being accepted by her family, but he wasn't accepted by a lot of his peers or the oh yeah, God, I forgot about
Kevin
that
didn't
about
like
Kevin.
Him.
You know, but even if you remember, like, God, it feels like forever ago, like the pool scene where they went to the public pool and he
was trying to find like different families to hang out with.
Right. So I mean, he dealt with not being accepted either, but in a different way. I mean, I think they have more similarities than Deja wanted to say, but the differences outweighed those small similarities.
Yeah, and I think
that makes sense.
I think it almost to her came off like he was being pretentious, which he wasn't. He was like planning the speech for weeks, trying to take her and just I mean, it was so sweet what he was trying to do. I know. So that's one of the scenes that got people. The other scene, which by the way, when Deja goes and sees her biological father,
that scene
was her speech almost the exact same as Randall's speech when he found his dad? Because remember, the dad opens the door and he's like, I want you to know I don't need anything from you. I am successful. I'm going to be successful. And that's kind of what she did.
I didn't even think about it in that way. She was much less aggressive. She's also a lot younger, so I don't know if that has something to do with it. But yeah, you're pretty spot on.
The similarities were incredible, which I loved because
they had just gotten
talking. They had just gotten done talking about how they weren't similar, and then here she is, kind of going to the biological father, exactly,
the same approach,
and being exactly with him. So we also got to see the first date, which was horrible.
The
Oh my
argument
God.
between mushroom and pepperoni on a pizza.
Well, we found out that they are exact opposites.
Yeah.
Which I think adds such a cool dynamic to it. Because
I agree.
The only thing that we saw up until now was how amazing they are together.
That just kind of proves, too, though, not to say that this is for everyone, but that opposites do attract.
Yeah. I could
You
have finished your
know?
sentence for you.
Right?
It also shows you that $9 could be good for a first date as long as it doesn't rain.
Okay, I love that you got that observation. I got, well, crap. I wish $9 could go that far nowadays
Yeah.
because I can't even get into the freaking carnival for $9. I can't even play a game for $9.
I think now carnival tickets would probably be like at least $10 a ticket.
Oh God!
I don't know.
If not more, like the one here, like the Florida State one, to get in, I think it's like $20.
Is it really?
Yes.
I'm so spoiled with getting free tickets, so I don't even know what prices are. I get my free tickets, so I don't even know how much tickets are anymore. But yeah, he got tickets into the carnival. He
What
got
a cutie, though.
a hot chocolate, was it candy corn? No, it wasn't candy corn. It was a
Hot chocolate
caramel
and
apple.
Caramel apple.
And then he didn't have enough for the umbrella because he wanted to play games. And what woman doesn't want to play games? Oh my God, that was so... Like, I felt so bad for him because he's just trying to take her out and show her a good time.
I know, but that was just so cute. And again, why I love This Is Us, because there's so many real elements to it. Come on, be honest. Have you ever been on like an incredible first date? And if you did, fine, just go ahead and rub it in.
Okay. Oh, that was the whole question?
Yeah, this is the question for you. Like,
Yeah,
have you
I've
ever
been-
been
Absolutely.
on an incredible
I've had
first
really good first dates. You've never had a good first date?
No. I've had good first dates, but they're usually so kind of like awkward. I don't really know you.
Yeah, but that's the whole good thing is it's kind of like starting over. So
Yeah, but
this is kind of gonna be a
Oh,
little
I don't
deep.
know.
But you know how when you get into a relationship and you're far into a relationship, you know everything about each other. And
Yeah.
so sometimes conversation is hard because you're kind of telling the same stuff over and over again because you know everything about each other. So a first
Look,
date...
I can talk for days.
Well, we know
so.
this.
I will find things to talk about.
So the good thing about a
Look.
first date is you're completely starting over and there's so much to talk about.
Or you're so awkward, or your date is so awkward, or intimidated, or freaked out, or weird, or whatnot. And you have that little smidge bit of moment that even Rebecca and Jack had where they're just under the
They're
boat.
like, yeah.
And it's like, do,
And
you
she's
don't
like,
talk.
she's like, I gotta go.
So, yeah,
He's
it
like,
can
yeah,
go
let me
both
take you
ways.
home.
You know, I recall this one date. This was back in college. Like, this was prior to even my first relationship ever. And this guy was so quiet.
Oh, that's the worst.
So he wasn't even quiet. Here's the thing: when we like just kind of had met each other, like he talked more than I did. He talked more than I did. Something about going on a date, whatever that does, or whatever it did to him.
Shut him up?
Shut him up.
Wow.
Entirely. Where I literally felt I was carrying the entire conversation.
Oh,
the
that's so
entire
exhausting.
Date. I got home and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I need tea because I talked so much.
Plus, mentally, that's just exhausting.
Yeah. So that was definitely not one of the best ones.
But that was kind of the way she was, how she just kept talking and talking and talking.
It
so
was
cute.
It was so cute.
All right, so let's move on to Kate.
Yes.
Who this was the
Oh.
scene that Nicole was like, I was bawling my eyes out because when she's told that she's not going to be able to have a baby and that the doctor's not going to be able to help her at the clinic, and she's just kind of like shut down, like everything is against her.
Right.
And so she goes to her own party and she pretty much loses it.
I mean, she says it there too. Let me start off by saying I do really like Kate. I really like her. And I think her role as Kate is being a little bit more of a pessimist. You just given everything she's kind of been through, the
Exactly.
whole family has. But with that said, she struggles to find the better in things or people in life. It shows it again in this.
Because, like you said,
scene.
there's so much negativity that's happened in her life.
Right. And one of the girls that was, I'm forgetting her name, that baked the carrot cake.
Madison. I was going to say, I forgot how much I loved Madison.
Right? So,
oh my God, she's so awesome.
So that scene where she brings out the cake and Kate wants to say what her secret or wish is, and Madison's like, well, don't say it
Can't
because
do that.
it's not gonna come true.
Right.
And Kate is just like, well, it's not gonna come true anyways because this is my wish. This is what I want. And I'm like, oh. If you can see the
Wait,
video.
I mean, I wasn't laughing. I'm laughing at you now. I wasn't laughing last night. I mean, I felt bad for it. It didn't bring a tear.
It didn't either.
No.
Not yet.
The tear ticker didn't click to 1.
Minus the cue music scene.
Yeah, besides the beginning.
Cue music.
And then,
Oh God.
by the way, never tell a guy that he can't get a girl. That is a challenge. When Beth tells Kevin
oh my God. Yes.
that her cousin will eat him up alive and that she will just destroy him. You can see it in his eyes, especially a guy with like Kevin.
Right.
Never tell
It's
a guy like that that's a challenge.
Like, bring it on.
Absolutely.
Bring it on. It's just so cute to see someone like Kevin, because look, he is drop dead freaking gorgeous. He is, baby Jesus, good blessings. Right on him.
Yeah, I mean, he's got everything.
He's got everything working
right.
for him. I'm like,
except the personality. I mean, he's kind of adult.
I think we're seeing
Sweet
more
guy.
personality in him.
Sweet guy.
I think we're seeing it develop.
Well, I definitely think he's got a personality.
I'd like to think in person there's more of a not like to say that, hey, my name is April, but no,
But even she's talking about how it's all about looks. When she was talking to Beth and trying to figure it out, and she talks, everything she mentioned was
physical.
Yeah, is physical.
Yeah. So I don't know. All I gotta say is I think it's so cute, that scene where he was either filming or wrapping up the filming, or
when he was going to do the interview.
Yes,
and he's on the phone
with her, and he's going like, well, if I do this, and then it's that, and then that leads into that, and then
and
it's
she
like,
already hung up on him.
and I was like, you bad bitch.
Yeah, I think that dynamic is going to be. But here's the problem.
Fire.
Here's the
Fire.
problem. If she does eat him up, is he going to fall back to his addictions? Is that going to lead to that storyline?
I think that could be a very valid assumption.
Yeah.
I don't want to see it happen because I want happily ever after, but at the same time, you got to keep the storyline going.
Absolutely.
And there's got to be some truth or validity, I would like to think, to why Beth said what she said.
Absolutely. She was
And it's
laying
funny,
the groundwork.
This is the one time I think we're seeing like eye to eye, because I thought
Should we mark this down?
it might be a timestamp.
I swear to
Because-
Oprah that this is the first
oh my
time.
God, you can't reuse that line. You can't reuse that line. Stop it.
I swear
Stop
to
it.
Oprah.
Oh my God.
They definitely
I was thinking
addressed
the exact same thing. And
a
you took the
lot
words
of
out my mouth.
stuff from last season, which was awesome. I mean, we learned why Toby is kind of catatonic in the bed, because he's going to stop taking his antidepressants. And not only that, but he's going to have withdrawal from it. That was in the preview for next week, which I feel so bad for Toby. I feel so bad for what he's going through.
I gotta tell you, in real life, because I associate this, like, this is us as real life.
It's totally real life.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's real life. It's happening.
But that's the good thing about it.
I know, because it's so easy to connect.
Exactly.
You got to be madly in love with your woman or man, vice versa. Because let me tell you, again, love Kate. She is not easy to deal with. And
She's definitely a
not
handful.
Easy to be with. It's so hard to be an emotional support for yourself and someone else. And he is his own constant cheerleader and hers. It's admirable, and I might get chewed up for saying this. I don't mean it in a bad way, but it's got to be exhausting.
It is exhausting. But
So
I'll tell you what it is.
Uh-huh.
He's a fixer. I think he's a fixer because I'm a fixer.
I here's the thing, and this is why I say, because I get it. I've been there. I've done that. And I think I've done it enough where I've seen myself fall back into that, or be with someone that you want to see the better of, and it's just they're like a project. And that, I know that sounds terrible, but you see the better in them. You see these characteristic traits in them that you want to see flourish. And
You want to
think-
pull that out of
and
them.
Think exactly.
You're a fixer.
So my heart goes out to him because I see that kind of in myself, and it's not easy.
No,
It's
not at all.
Not easy.
And again, so
It's exhausting.
much was tied in this episode. Like whoever the person is that Randall and Tess go see
Yeah.
now involves older Toby, which when they brought older
Yeah.
Toby in, I'm like, no. So is it Kate? That's what a lot of people are asking. Is it
don't
Kate?
know.
Because why else would older Toby be in it? So that's how it ended.
Food for thought.
Yeah.
Food for thought.
So this season, I think this season is going to be brutal.
I have a feeling it is too. I'm afraid of that. I'm excited and I'm afraid of that. Just because the groundwork that was set just in this, which I didn't think it was going to be a 2-hour premiere. I was like, oh gosh, well, good thing I got up early and watched it.
It wasn't a 2-hour premiere.
It was.
No, it wasn't.
It's 2 hours.
I only watched an hour of it. Wait a second. What happened?
Am I
It started at 9, didn't it?
maybe it's the way I
Wait.
maybe
What has happened here? Did we just like hop into a time warp continuum? Did you watch a 2 hours? Were you on? What's that new show that's coming on where they're on the plane for like 5 years? Is that what happened? Did you like start watching and all of a sudden you were in it for 2 hours? Okay. Thank you, subscribe. Thank you for subscribing to the Totally Spoiled podcast. Make sure to follow and subscribe at Brian Fink. I don't know if you should tweet April on air because she's probably still watching This Is Us. And we will. I love you guys for being part of the Totally Spoiled podcast. We'll catch you next week. Like, what do you? What? I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what happened. Like, how did that even happen?